One of the most annoying parts about owning and operating a Rust server is cheaters. And not only just having cheaters on your server, but what to do with them. Of course, we can kick them out of our server. We can ban them so that they never come back. But what if there was a way that we could troll the out of these players to the point where they leave on their own accord and they never come back? Well, on today's video, I'm going to show you a tool that has just recently come into development. I know that if you've been watching another one of the content creators about Rust and specifically about adminning for Rust servers, you're going to recognize some of these tools, but now they're available to the public. Hey everyone, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I teach you guys the very best tips and tricks to owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do a lot of plugin reviews and tutorials to hopefully show you the different things that you can do on your server to make your server stand out from the crowd. So if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. And of course, turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. So like I said in the intro, one of the best things that you can do to somebody that you think might be cheating on your server is troll them to death. Troll them to the point where they don't want to be on your server at all. I would quite often use these types of tools if I wasn't 100% sure that the person was cheating and I just wanted to annoy them to the point where they just leave on their own accord anyways. So to that end, today we're talking about a relatively new plugin that's available from the uMod site. I'll put it in the video description down below, called Troll Tools. I'm sure many of you have seen a lot of different types of troll tools that are available out there, but I know that most of those are custom built to those specific servers and haven't been widely available. Well, now they are. And I know that as this plugin starts gaining popularity, the developer is going to put more and more work into it, giving us more and more tools. All right, that's enough blabbering on about it. Let's actually get into the plugin so I can show you what it does. So the documentation on the uMod site is pretty straightforward. The plugin itself is called Troll Cheaters. I think I called it something else a couple of minutes ago, but let's just go through a couple of the details real quick. Now, obviously this is a permissions-based plugin. So the very first thing that we're going to do once we've actually installed the plugin and it has compiled correctly is grant ourselves the permissions. So if you're not familiar with the way that I suggest you deal with permissions, make sure you check the video in the top right-hand corner right now. It goes over everything that you're going to need to know about dealing with permissions. Trust me, it's going to change everything that you know about Oxide permissions. In that video, I talk about using admin menu from Chaos Code, and that looks like this. And we can simply click on permissions here, group permissions, etc., etc. But for today, let's actually use permissions manager. So we're going to do /perms group. We only want to apply these permissions to the admin group or the moderator group. We don't want everyone to be able to use this plugin, only people that are moderating the server. So permissions for admin, we go down to troll cheaters down here, and we can just grant all of the permissions that are available for this plugin. We're going to go through each one of these features, so don't worry about what they are right now. Now, granted, as this plugin develops over time, there's probably going to be more permissions that you may have to go back in and grant because they won't automatically be granted to you as this plugin progresses. So as it stands right now, this plugin basically has 3 different features that we can use right now. The first one of which is we can change whatever gun we happen to be using at the time. In my case, I'm using an LR300. I can change the ammo from being 5.56 ammo to actually being a rocket. And because I already have the permissions granted to me, I can do /trocket in chat. Obviously that looks just like that. So hit enter and you'll see in the top left-hand corner of my screen, you'll see a Rust symbol up there. That's telling you that the troll tool is activated. So now when I shoot this LR300, and as well as a 5.56 round coming out when I pull the trigger, so will a rocket. And it looks just like that. It is just that awesome. So if you wanted to troll somebody's base, obviously you can shoot and it damages their base just like it would a regular rocket. Or if you were in a gun battle, some sort of PvP with this suspected cheater, and all of a sudden you're shooting rockets at them, obviously they're going to get the picture, right? Now, the one variable that we have control over as far as the rocket goes is how quickly the rocket travels. So by default, it travels at what would normally be a normal rocket speed. But we can, of course, slow that down. We could probably speed it up too. Let's try it out. So the command for that is /r speed. And then we would put the speed in which we want the rocket to travel. Obviously, the lower the number, the slower the rocket's going to travel. So let's do speed 10. And it responds saying rocket speed is set to 10. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so that's moving very, very slowly. And it took almost forever to get over to that rock formation. Let's do R speed, let's say 500. Let's see what happens there. That goes super fast. So anytime you want to turn that feature off and you want to go back to regular ammo, of course, just do /trocket in chat. Chat responds with troll cheater status equals false. And then we go back to normal after that. So now the other two features of this plugin are actually going to be a little bit complicated for me to show you, because I'd really like to show you what the player would see when I'm activating these tools on the player. So the first of those two, I can give you a pretty good idea of what's actually happening. The second one though, unfortunately, I just can't show you what's happening on the player side of it because I'm only one person. I did put a call out in my Discord to see if somebody would help me out with this video. Unfortunately, nobody responded quick enough, so we're going to have to do it this way. All right, so what I've done here is I've just spawned in a test NPC player, and I've given this player a kit so that he looks like me, whatever. He's got some stuff on his inventory. Actually, I think that's a girl, not to assume their gender. And what this part of the tool is called is Dropband. So basically what it does is it takes everything that they have on their player character, their inventory, their clothes, whatever, and it drops it all on the ground and makes it so that they can never pick up another item ever again until we release this ban. So we just need to be looking at the player, and we can be in vanish mode when we're executing this command, but we just need to be looking at the player and type /dropban. So that kicks all of the stuff out of the player's inventory. And if this were a real player, somebody from my Discord that I invited into this video, I would show what happens when they try to pick up items. Basically, it makes it so that they can't pick anything up. And as you can see in my chat there, it says saving user data to the file. So this is creating a data file with this user's information and the fact that they're banned. And until that ban is lifted, they'll never be able to pick up another item ever again. So if this were a real player, he'd be running around right now saying, what the hell just happened? I dropped all my inventory. They'd be picking it up and it would immediately be dropping back on the ground. Nothing would ever go back into their inventory. If for whatever reason you decided that you wanted to remove that ban, maybe you decided that this player wasn't cheating or whatever, however you got to that decision where you wanted to remove that ban, you just simply go up to that player, same as you did before, and you type /rdban, no spaces. So remove drop ban basically is what that comes down to, but it's /rdban. As you can see in the chat there, it says deleting user data from the file. So it's now removing that player's information from the data file. Now this player can go around and act like normal. They'll be able to pick things back up again and put them back in their inventory. So looking at this through the eyes of the cheater, a lot of times they're probably just going to realize, okay, I've been caught. They're going to leave your server and you're probably never going to hear from them ever again. However, if for whatever reason they decide that they are going to come back to your server, that user data is already saved in our server files. So even if they do come back later and you're not paying attention, they still aren't going to be able to pick up anything into their inventory. So as the cheater, this is a super annoying plugin, and why would they ever stay in your server if they couldn't pick up any items? Now, the second feature that's going to be really hard to show you, which is actually the third and final feature of this plugin, is what's called the blue screen of death, or the BSOD, and ear grape. I have to say grape because I can't actually use that word on YouTube. Otherwise I'll get, you know how it works. So if you've ever watched another YouTuber out there that basically makes his YouTube career about adminning and trolling cheaters on their servers, you'll know what I'm talking about. But basically what happens is we're going to make it appear like the player is getting a blue screen of death. We all know what that looks like. Plus it's going to bombard them with, I think it's headshots actually, the headshot noise, but it's really loud and really annoying in their ears. And the only way that they can make it stop is by leaving the server, or unless of course we remove that troll feature from that player. So we're just going to pretend like my test NPC is an actual player. We would go up to them and we just need to be looking right at them, and in chat we do /B screen, blue screen, B screen. Now if this were a real player, their screen would have gone blue. It would have put up the message up there saying, and I think there's some friendly words down at the very bottom. It doesn't, like, if you actually read it, it doesn't look like a blue screen of death. And they would also be bombarded with the god awful noise that's coming through their headphones or their speakers if they happen to not be using a headset. So like I said before, the only thing that they can do to make this stop is either leave the server or wait until the admin that applied this troll to remove it. So if for whatever reason you decided that you wanted to remove this troll tool, in chat you would do /RB screen, just like that. That would remove the blue screen of death and it would get rid of the ear grape that's going on, and everything basically goes back to normal for that player. If we go back to the uMod site and have a look at the documentation, you can see where this developer is wanting to take this plugin. They're going to be adding different types of ammo. They're going to be adding a damage multiplier plus an admin room. I'll be curious to see what they actually mean by admin room. But so future plans are coming for this plugin, and as the community gets more and more engaged with the plugin, of course more ideas are going to come to light. Whether the developer actually takes those ideas on or not, who knows, but definitely get involved and start adding your ideas. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not in my Discord yet, make sure you go to discord.srtbull.com. If you want to help support the channel, you can go to patreon.srtbull.com. I put out a brand new video every Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Friday.